Hi all, welcome to Beanie Composter. I stupidly threw a load of leachate over the plants and it sort of sat on top of them, so I'm just trying to, spray that off. So we had a lovely comment from Chris Ivans, I hope I've said that correctly, and he sort of led me to the making of this video, so thank you Chris. And today's video is going to be about why I think buying a Hotbin could be the best investment you make for your garden. In today's video, I'm going to try and convince you why I think buying one of these Hotbin composters will be the best investment you can make for your garden.
Boom!
Whoa, I bet you weren't expecting that. And don't worry, you're not going to be able to compost your kids in one of these, because he's been in there for 3 weeks and he's still not composted. You know, obviously it's not hot composting enough at the moment. Okay guys, don't worry, no children, and more importantly, no composter bins were harmed in this video. If you are new to our channel, then don't forget to subscribe and watch our other videos so you can see exactly what this thing can do. But we're in October now and the Hotbin is still hot composting really well. You know, look at that steam coming out and we're over, 60 degrees there. When your Hotbin is composting at these temperatures, then it is composting 32 times quicker than a cold composting bin. And that means this can replace 2 and sometimes up to 3 of your cold composting Daleks. 900 litres worth of space can just go into one Hotbin, which is, this one is the 200 litre one. If you are reaching high temperatures in the Hotbin and you're adding the maximum wastage that you can, then you're going to be able to empty your composting bin at least 4 times per year, so roughly every 3 months. And out of that empty, you should be able to produce around about 60 to 70 litres of this compost. And when I've worked that out, if you go to a garden centre and you buy compost from them, you're looking at, for 125 litres, roughly about £10 per bag. So if you're getting out 60 to 70 litres, then per year that's saved you £20 worth of compost that you're buying. And also you've got to remember, for the environment, this compost you're producing is in-house, so it's you're making it yourself, what's going in there. You're not contributing to more plastic bags being produced. And this compost that you're making from the Hotbin doesn't have peat in it, so for the environment this is much better. And the goodness that you've got in your Hotbin compost is so much better than the ones you'd buy in in the shops. From an environmental impact as well, you're not driving to the garden centre to pick stuff up. Like I say, you're not creating more plastic bags. We're October 2021, and if you look on the Hotbin composting site at the moment, the mini is £190 and the Hotbin 200 litre one is £255. And for most of you, yeah, that might sound a lot of money, but I'm gonna explain to you now why I think that's not as much as you think. So we all know what happened with Brexit, and now we're starting to see the impact. So what happened to all the Polish people?
Well, you voted for us to go back to our country, so you lost all your page. HIV drivers.
Not HIV, bloody hell, that's a virus. We all know what happened with Brexit. You know, we're starting to see that full impact now, and you know, apart from this one here, most of the Polish, where did they go?
Home.
They all went home. And do we have any HGV drivers over here now?
I haven't seen any for ages.
We can't get petrol anymore, and supermarket shelves are empty. But it did lead me to start thinking about other things to do with the hot bin. You know, my mum has the garden waste bin, which, you know, the council come, they take it away, and you know, recently they've sent her a letter saying they can't take the garden waste away because they don't have any drivers. Bloody hell, guys, I think I've found myself a new microphone here. Testing, 1 2 1 2. Anyway, back to the video. So in the UK, the council do provide you with a garden waste bin, but don't worry, it's not for free. So yeah, you're gonna have to pay a price if you want to have one of these. And you know, for us, we live in the borough of Kingston upon Thames, and you know, when I looked on the website to check for this video, then to have one of these per year is £80, plus you need to, you know, spend £15 to actually get the bin. We didn't actually buy this bin, it was from a neighbour when they moved away. So at the moment I just use it to store the kids' toys, but don't worry, I've got a bit of bulking agent keeping nice and dry at the bottom there. So, but like I'm saying, you know, £80 per year to take your garden waste away. If you've got a medium to small garden, then the hot bin, although like the larger one costs £255 at the moment, in 3 years you are gonna have paid for your hot bin by not using this. Although we have a relatively small garden here, we have an awful lot of plants, and you know, we accumulate a lot of wastage, you know, over a year. But all that wastage goes into our hot bin composter, and you know, nothing gets taken to the refuge tip or needs to be disposed of any other way. With the lack of HGV drivers at the moment, there are some areas where they simply don't have the drivers to come and collect garden waste, and so therefore those people that were relying on the council to take their waste away now are having to dispose of that some other way. It's bin day today, guys. Don't you think the council should be paying me money? Because look how much wastage we're putting out. We're really just putting glossy paper in there, which is coming through the door as junk mail anyway. And if you look in there, you know, this is 2 weeks worth. Bloody hell, guys, who's put that in there? Don't this family know anything about composting? So that's 2 weeks worth of recycling paper. And this thing here, that's our kitchen, you know, for the kitchen caddy waste. So, you know, you put all your leftover food, things like that in there, peelings. Well, that has gone into retirement now because it's never been used in the 3 years we've owned the hot bin. You know, I think now all we're using it for is storing bulking. What do you mean lift it up?
Lift
You
it up
lift the camera down.
You want to have your face there or your wheelie there?
So all I'm using this for now is really storing a bit of bulking agent in to keep it nice and dry. As I've said, when you've got your hot bin up to a really hot temperature, then it's composting much quicker than a cold composter. And also, you don't need to go adding all those compost accelerator products into your compost because it's doing it naturally on its own. So you're going to save money, you know, by not having to add stuff that you would if you wanted to speed up your cold composting bins. If you're into your gardening as well, you probably spend a fortune on products like this, but the Hotbin is actually making food for you all year long. So although you don't want to, you know, stop using this, you probably wouldn't need to use quite as much as you normally would, because if you collect your leachade, is it leachade or leachade? Leachade. If you collect the leachade all year round, then you can just keep using that. Even in the winter, you can just pour that over your garden and it's still gonna feed and provide your garden and soils with all those nutrients it requires. When you buy food from a shop, you're paying for the skin as well as what you actually eat, and you know, a cauliflower, you're paying for the, you know, the stalk bit and the, you know, the leaves. So that wastage is going somewhere, and if you don't compost, then you're going to put that out for the refuge people to take away, and they're going to benefit from that. So they're going to take that away, make compost and sell that or use that. But for you, if you've got a hot bin, everything you're buying, you're feeding back into your garden and you're getting the benefits of that. Another investment that you might not think about is for your own personal health. The Hotbin provides you with that activity of getting outside, getting involved with the garden. You can have the radio on while you're just chopping stuff up, and you know, you're not stuck indoors on screens. It, you know, it gives you an excuse to get outside and just get some fresh air. And if you're like me and you listen to radio too, then you might hear Steve Wright on a Friday afternoon. He has serious jocking going on. Well, people ring up with no G's. Well, this one's for you, Righty. Serious chopping, no G. If you're a big fan of Sesame Street, you'll know they do a letter of the day. Well, in this video, there's 2 words of the day, and that is you know. So if you're sadder than me, why don't you count up how many you knows I've said, because it's got to be absolutely humongous. So guys, summary on the bench. I think it's clear to see that buying a Hotbin is going to be your best investment, because I think you're not going to be relying on taking your waste away to like a refuge tip, or you're not going to be relying on the council to take it away. Everything you put into that Hotbin, you're going to know if it's organic or where it's come from. So all your compost that is going back into the garden, you know exactly where that's come from. It's got no environmental impact. You know, in the long term, we're looking like 3 years, you're going to start making money out of the Hotbin. And I think the biggest investment for me is it gets you outside, it gives you a purpose, something to do. It becomes a bit of a hobby, and yeah, it can be hard work, and you know, this Hotbin, it isn't for everyone and it isn't going to solve everybody's problems. But I do think a lot more families and a lot more households in the UK and all around, you know, the globe could benefit from using one of these, you know, Hotbin composters, because, you know, we all know which direction we need to go in for the environment, and I think if you've got a Hotbin, then you'll feel like you are doing your little bit for the environment, but at the same time, you're investing in yourself, your garden, and, you know, all the animals that rely on that. So hope this video has given you something to think about. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us some comments on what you think, you know, if this is a great investment, because, you know, Chris was right with what he said. You know, it does pay for itself and it does give you that mental sort of health. Until next time, happy composting. enjoy, and I'll try not to waffle as much next time.